heart's special system for generating rhythmical electrical impulse. There is rhythm to it. Why does it have to be in a rhythm? Okay? The rhythmical contraction of heart muscle, wherein the atria contracts ahead, that's 1/6 of a second ahead of the ventricles, is very important because as you said in the cardiac cycle, the atria is a primer pump. Okay? So the atria will contract ahead before the ventricles because if magdungan sila contract, it's not effective. Wala gihapon? What? Sige lang, it's okay lang. I'll give you this anyway. A PDF out of this. So the atria contracts ahead 1/6 of a second of the ventricles. It conducts rapidly, impulses rapidly through the heart so that all portions of the ventricles contract almost simultaneously. So this is important as I've said because if magdungan, if the atria and the ventricles contract simultaneously, then the atria is not an effective primer pump. But the atria contracts and adds an additional 15% to the volume of blood in the ventricles before the ventricles can pump that out. So if dungan, there's no additional 15%, there's lesser volume. So what else? Then as the press any other button. Time. Saan? What happened? Saan to si Kuya? Where are you? Turn on. Turn on. Hold on a minute. Anybody techie here? Okay, it's there, but I know that it is speakers. So, the ventricles also contract almost simultaneously. So once the impulse is there in the ventricles contract as a whole. It's not gonna contract on the earlier part, then the middle, and then the last part. It's gonna contract as a whole because as we've said earlier, the conduction of the impulse in the ventricles is very fast, 4 meters per second, right? We said earlier. It's very fast so that it reaches to the other parts of the ventricles so that the ventricles can contract as a whole. It's very important because the ventricles are not an effective pump if different parts would contract in different times. So it has to contract as a whole. Okay? So that's the importance of rhythmicity of the cardiac conduction impulse. So you have this in your anatomy. The specialized excitatory conductive system of the heart, the SA node. Next, goes through the internodal pathways and then and then AV node. Okay, this is a summary. SA node, where impulse is generated, the internodal pathway is conducting the impulse from the SA to the AV node, then the AV node, where there is a delay before passing into the ventricles. AV bundle, conducts the impulse from the atrium to the ventricles, and then the left and right bundle branches of Purkinje fibers, which conduct the cardiac impulse to all parts of the body, of the ventricles. So let's take a look first at the AV node. You have this in anatomy. Size, location. It has no contractile muscle filaments. It's the one that initiates and regulates the impulse conduction. And you see here in this slide the comparison of the ventricular muscle fiber action potential. Do you remember the plateau and the action potential we discussed earlier? Versus that in the action potential in the SA node. So what differences do you see? The color? What else? What? The shape? Yeah? Shape difference? What else? The resting membrane potential? Right? Negative 85 here, it's around, what's this? Negative 45, 50, negative 50, resting membrane potential. So you see, its resting membrane potential is nearer the threshold for an action potential. So it's easier to elicit a response than the ventricular muscle fiber. And there's no plateau. Okay. So the SA node is capable of self-excitation, a process that can cause automatic rhythmical discharge and contraction. Doesn't need a stimulus, it's automatic. Why? Because it has this inherent leakiness of the SA node to sodium and calcium ions. If it's leaky to sodium and calcium ions, which are both cations, it allows sodium to flow in, calcium to flow in. The resting membrane potential will gradually go up, okay, to more positive. Until it reaches the threshold, then there's the fire, there's an action potential. Okay? So, repolarization, and then there's sodium coming in again, calcium. So that's why there you don't need a stimulus, because it's inherently leaky to these cations. Okay, so you also have a lower threshold for their resting membrane potential is nearer the threshold for excitation. Okay? So that's why SA node can generate its own impulse. So from the SA node goes to the internodal pathways and into the AV node. Okay, the velocity of conduction in atrial muscle is 0.3 meters, 0.03 meters per second. But in the atrial fibers, it's much faster, 1 meter per second. And then it goes to the AV node. The AV node location, okay. There, you have that in anatomy. But as I said, there's a delay in the conduction into the AV node. Diba, 0.03. Here, there's it reaches here by 0.12. So there's a delay of 0.09 seconds. Why? What caused the delay? Have you read? There is lesser number of gap junctions in this part. Okay? Diba, as I said, gap junctions allow easier passage of iron, sodium, calcium, so that there is fast movement of action potential from one part to another part. Okay, but here there is lesser, diminished gap junctions. So this causes a delay. This is important because this delay is what allows the atria to contract ahead of the ventricles. Okay, so there. So once it's there, it passes to the bundle, AV bundle, and then into the Purkinje fibers, which are very large fibers. And as I've said, they're the fastest, no? Transmit action potentials at a velocity of 1.5 to 4 meters per second. It's 6 times ventricular muscle, 6 times and 150 times the AV nodal fibers. It allows almost instantaneous transmission of cardiac impulse. And it has a very high level of permeability of the gap junctions in the intercalated discs between successive cells. So once it passes there, it's very fast so that the ventricles can contract as a whole. Okay? And it allows for one-way conduction. It doesn't allow for the impulse to go back to the SA node. Okay? One-way conduction only. So summary, SA node is the pacemaker of the heart. AV node can also is capable of self-excitation. But why is the SA node the pacemaker? It dictates the pace, the rhythm, or the heart rate. Why is the SA node the pacemaker? Normally, when the AV node, the Purkinje fibers can also generate its own instantaneous potential. Why? Does anybody know? It's here. An hour down. It discharges at a rate of 70 to 80 times. AV node discharges at 40 to 60 times. Purkinje fibers, much lesser, in 1 minute. Therefore, it dictates, because it's the fastest. Because by the time we discharge an AV node, it has already discharged. It's faster man. That's why it dictates. So what happens if this is like damage? For example, there's infarct here in the SA node. What would be the pacemaker of the heart? The AV would pick up. Okay, but this time, slower rate. Yeah, because it discharges much slower. Okay, so the normal pacemaker of the heart is the SA node because it's the fastest to discharge. Even before the AV can discharge na siya. So it controls. It's the control free. Okay? But there are instances where we have abnormal or ectopic. When we say ectopic, its function is there, but it's not supposed to be in that location. Ectopic pacemaker. So, as you said, the AV node can be an ectopic pacemaker, even the Purkinje fibers, atrial ventricular muscle, but they can cause abnormal sequence of contraction. So, what we have an example of this is AV block, where there is a blockage of transmission from the SA to the AV node. If it's sudden, for example, there's a blockage of transmission there, it doesn't go to the AV node. The Purkinje fibers does not begin to emit impulses until 5 to 20 seconds later. So there's no impulse for 5 to 20 seconds. This leads to Stokes-Adams syndrome, where there's late pickup of the heartbeat secondary to sudden AV block. So the heart stops for a few seconds, and then it will generate impulses, but at a much slower rate. So Stokes-Adams syndrome. So there's unconsciousness at first, sudden AV block, because the heart stops for a few seconds. Okay? So, and then the ANS also has a role in heart rhythmicity, as we've said earlier, the heart rate. So, parasympathetic, of course, decreased rate, decreased excitability because of acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter involved in parasympathetic stimulation. And of course, sympathetic, it's positive chronotropic, dermotropic, and inotropic effects. Okay, that ends the discussion. Short, very short. Let's go to our exam. What time is it? 8:54. That's your papers. Very short. This is just a prelude to ECG. The ECG is the harder one. Dr. Caballero will discuss it with you. She's very good in discussing ECG. Sige, write your names. We'll just have 5 questions. Number 1. there are 4 phases of cardiac muscle action potential. Which phase is the plateau phase, where you can find the plateau? Phase 1, 2, 3, 4. I find the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, number 2. When the aortic valve closes in the cardiac cycle, you see a ditch in the pressure in the aortic pressure curve when the aortic valve closes. What do you call that drop down in the pressure and then going back up in the aortic pressure curve when the aortic valve closes? Choices? Sige. Letter A, atrial contraction. Letter B, ventricular contraction. Letter C, venous filling. Letter D, incisura. You write that one. Wrong spelling, wrong. Number 3. What do you call that short phase in the systole where ventricular pressure increases and there is no change in ventricular volume and the valves are closed? The short period in systole where ventricular pressure increases but there is no change in ventricular volume because the valves are closed. That's number 3, no? Number 3. Okay. Sige. This mechanism states that the greater the heart muscle is stretched during feeding, that's number 4, the greater the heart muscle is stretched during feeding, such as an increase in venous return, the greater is the force of contraction and the greater the quantity of blood pumped into the systemic circulation. The greater the heart is stretched during feeding, such as an increase in venous return to the heart, the greater the heart pumps that blood out into the systemic circulation. What do you call that? Principle or mechanism or theory or choices again? Maanan naging mo sa multiple choice. Sige. Choices. Afterload mechanism. A. B. Frank-Starling mechanism. C. Sympathetic stimulation. D. Dromotropic effect. Okay, number 5. What is the normal pacemaker of the heart? Okay, normal pacemaker of the heart. Okay? Those in front will be the ones to get the papers. Pass your papers. Those in front will be the ones. So this is another tip for effective studying. Quiz yourself after studying to check for retention. Pass your papers. Pass your papers, please. Papers in. Papers in. Why are the papers here? Papers in. Okay, number one. The two in the cardiac action potential phase two. Two. 1 point. Okay, number two in the cardiac cycle where the aortic valve closes, we call that the incisura or the nephrotic notch. INCISURA. Number three, in the cardiac cycle, where there is an increase in pressure during the systole, no change in volume, the valves are closed, isovolumic or isovolumetric contraction. This pressure increases. If the pressure would increase, isovolumic relaxation, and it's in diastole, relaxation. Systole is contraction. Number four, the mechanism or the theory wherein there is increase in venous return, increased cardiac output, it's Frank Starling mechanism. And number five, normal pacemaker of the heart is SA. Why? Why is it the SA node? It's the fastest among the rest. So the fastest, the human fastest. Okay, so next week, another topic. I hope you read ahead. So it's like 3 chapters for next week. We'll start with the circulatory part, the vascular part of the cardiovascular system next week. Okay?